Hi guys, welcome back. It's Johnny with Dr. Says. So I have an update for you today. I did a few trial runs and a few initial impressions of the Zoologist 4 perfumes that I got about a month ago, I'd say a month and a half ago. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I've worn all of them, I've played around with them, I've spent time with them, and I wanted to give you a little bit more of an in-depth review of these and kind of my final thoughts. So, in case you didn't catch the shorts, I'll link them and put them in. But the 4 that I got of the Zoologist brand were squid. I got these samples, squid. I got seahorse. I had the highest hopes for seahorse out of all of these. I got Portuguese man-o-war. And I got lovebird. Lovebird is their newest scent. And so I want to go over these today and talk about their notes a little bit more in depth and talk about kind of what they smelled like on my skin so you would have a better idea if you wanted to purchase these. Fragrantica has 51 of the Zoologist fragrances in their system. I'm not sure if there are 51, but I was looking on the website for Zoologist and I was looking at the different ones. And I was also looking at the overall popularity of each of their fragrances. So we're going to talk about these 4 in order of the Fragrantica top list. So let's get started. In the second place on Fragrantica, this is the second most popular of all of their fragrances, only behind B, which probably is a honey sweet fragrance, not for me. But this is squid. So squid is Fragrantica, their number 2 bestseller for Zoologist. Interestingly, when I looked on Zoologist, their actual website for their travel sizes, the squid travel size, which retails for $54 on the Zoologist site, was sold out. So that did give me a good indication that it is pretty popular. So let's talk about the scent notes. We're going to go over these. So the top notes are pink pepper, solar salicate, incense, mid notes of black ink, salt, and opoponax. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Bottom notes of ambergris, benzoin, and musk. So I went and I had the internet, the Googles, the AIs kind of explain some of these scent notes to me because I wasn't sure what they were. So interestingly, the solar salicate is just a sunscreeny solar note, a warm note, which I love. It's actually in quite a few fragrances. In Fragrantica, they don't have it as solar salicate. They have it as something else. Maybe they're not recognizing it. Maybe it's too new. But that is the actual scent note as listed on Squid's official website in their merchandise. And that is a scent note that I really do love. And it is interesting. When I do spray it, the squid, I don't get solar. I think it's completely overtaken by the pepper and the incense, which are very spicy. And that's what I'm really getting. Now, once I knew what that was and I sprayed it again, I sprayed it on my wrist, I can get it. I can identify it. And I'm like, oh, that's what that is. Which is in a lot of my favorite fragrances because I love a vacation, solar, sunscreeny note. And it's obviously synthetic, but that's what that is. I also wanted to talk about the opoponax. I don't even know how to say it correctly, but according to the interwebs, that is a myrrh, resin, vanilla, or sweet and smoky type scent. They said, imagine incense burning inside an old cathedral with warm amber glowing nearby. So it's rich and sweeter and softer than a traditional myrrh, but it's kind of in the myrrh family. So I thought that was interesting, and that is in Squid's mid notes. And then ambergris, we know ambergris is our old favorite. It's a very ocean, driftwood, salty skin, beachy vibes, and that's in the base. And I can see why squid is really, really popular. Unfortunately for me, all I can really smell is the briny and the inky. It does have that ink note, and it is very, very prominent. So is the briny. It's interesting, on squid's own scent notes, it says that you're going to get a very briny scent. It says it right in its notes. So it's a tangy brine, and boy does it ever. So unfortunately, squid for me is a no. I can see that it does have good notes to it, and it does have nice things about it, but it just comes across too fishy, too like you're walking through a fish market and someone's chopping up fish. It just comes across very, very fishy on my skin, at least. It doesn't come across quite as lovely and refreshing as I guess a lot of people feel like it does. And that ink note is pretty powerful, that black ink note. So if you have ever eaten squid and you've gotten that whiff of that ink, that is what you're going to get in this cologne, in this perfume. So unfortunately for squid, for me, we are not a good pair. I've used about half. It's interesting how it's kind of dark, like squid ink. Okay, let's move on. That was their number 2 most popular. We're going down the list. Number 17th place on Fragrantica for the most popular Zoologist brand is my most anticipated because I love seahorses, and it is Seahorse. Let's talk about its scent notes. It has top notes of cardamom, fennel, and amberette, mid notes of sage, tuberose, and neroli, and base notes of algae, vetiver, and ambergris. So this has mostly scent notes that I recognize. It's very aquatic. It's very fishy as well. It's very oceany. Amberette is defined as, the interwebs defined it, amberette for me, as soft musk, a pear, warm skin, slight nuttiness. Imagine clean skin after a shower. It's often used instead of animal musk because it's a natural ingredient. Ambergris, we know, is the salty ocean air mineral type of accord, and that's in the base. Algae, you do get algae, seaweedy type vibe in this. You do get like you're swimming in the sea with seaweed. And the opening is nice. The opening is a little bit briny, but it's not too briny. My daughter said she doesn't smell any type of fishy or brininess with Seahorse. She just smells the aquatic. So I guess it depends on your nose. I would say out of the 3 aquatics that I tested, this is the most wearable aquatic. This is the most non-challenging, similar to other things, but still unique aquatic that I tested. The next aquatic is coming up next. So Seahorse is an absolute possibility for me. The only issue that I have with Seahorse is that I'm not sure that I love it. And I think for the price that you're gonna have to pay for these niche fragrances, you really have to love it. I am contemplating getting a travel size for $54 from Zoologist, and really, wearing it every day for a week or so and really giving it a good try. I've worn it a couple of days, and I do like it. I'm not just sure that I love it, and that's my only issue. But I would say that it's definitely wearable. It's definitely unique. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the third one. And this comes in at number 43 place out of 51 on Fragrantica for Zoologist. And this is Portuguese Man o' War. Portuguese Man o' War is attempting to be very aquatic. And it's funny, I wore this one and went out to a store and was talking to some sales associates, and I could swear that they were making kind of a face when they got a whiff of it on me. They didn't say anything, of course, but I felt self-conscious. I felt like, am I smelling like a fish? Am I smelling kind of briny? And this is a very briny scent. It's very seaweedy as well. Let's talk about the scent notes. So the top notes are ginger, saffron, and immortelle. The mid notes are gunpowder, jasmine, and geranium, and the base notes are seaweed, sandalwood, and tonka. So the interesting ones in this one definitely is the immortelle. I asked the interwebs, what does that mean? And they said it smells like maple syrup or honey or like a slight tobacco. It's basically a warm, golden, sun-baked herbal sweetness. They said that it basically smells savory and sweet at the same time. So basically, I couldn't tell what they were trying to tell me it smelled like. But that's in its opening. And you do get a very different kind of interesting take on this scent. It's interesting. When they, on the actual scent card, it says that when you spray this one, you're going to get crisp ginger first and metallic gunpowder, which deliver a fiery sting to open. And boy, does it ever. It's supposed to mimic the sting of a man-o-war, and you really do get kind of a whoa scent when you spray it. I think I oversprayed it the other day when I was wearing it, and I have just a little bit less than I have the other ones. I think I oversprayed. And I was a little self-conscious. It did last all day. I mean, 8 to 10 hours. It's very interesting because you're going to get a very briny, fishy smell with Portuguese man-o-war. You're also going to get that gunpowder, which is very reminiscent of like a cannonball blast, or what I imagine when you're firing a gun or an old musket and you get that gunpowdery smell. You're definitely going to get that. It's definitely present and it's unique. It's different. If you think that might be something that you would like to try, I would definitely suggest getting these and not getting the bigger size. Zoologist is not blind buy safe. I wouldn't say any of their fragrances are blind buy safe. None of the 50, except for the one we're going to talk about next, maybe, if you really like fruity florals. But they're all pretty unique and they're all pretty challenging or interesting, to say the least. So Portuguese man-o-war and me are not going to be going forward. We're going to be separating and parting ways. To me, I kind of imagine it being like a piratey smell, like what a pirate might smell like, which I do find interesting. It's just not something that I would grab or naturally want to wear on my body. I do find it interesting. I do find it something that I do think it has complexity, and it is very interesting, which is what niche fragrances should be. Okay, let's go to our last one, my last one in fourth place. And this one is only in fourth place, meaning on Fragrantica, because I believe it's pretty new. It's their newest fragrance. When you open up the website for Zoologist, it's the first thing you see. And it is Lovebird. And Lovebird comes in at 46 out of 51 scents. It's interesting. I don't remember the 51st. I should look it up. Maybe I'll look it up and put it in this video for you. I'll put it in the tag. So this has top notes of kiwi, bergamot, orange, blackcurrant, mint, sage, clove, wormwood, and lavender. And you do get a fruity, floral, very burst when you first spray it. The mid notes are passion fruit, ylang ylang, geranium, lily of the valley, and heliotrope. And the base notes are amyris, amber, Virginia cedar, oak moss, vanilla, tonka, amberette, and musk. And I did have to look up what is amyris, A-M-Y-R-I-S. And it says that it smells like soft sandalwood, cedar, slight vanilla. Think of a smoother, creamier sandalwood that's less expensive and slightly sweeter. Okay, so that is what it smells like. It also has heliotrope in it. If you don't know what heliotrope is, it's that powdery, almondy type smell. And it's very unique. So Lovebird is probably the most blind buy safe. If you wanted to get a scent that is very feminine. This one and I are not going to be friends moving forward just because it's very feminine, it's very floral, it's very fruity. It's nothing bad. There's nothing bad in it. It's just not for me. It's not my kind of scent profile that I prefer to wear. But it's a good scent, and I could recommend this one. I don't think I could recommend the other three without saying try it first, just because they are so unique. This one I think is the most similar to other scents that you're going to have in your collection. So those are the 4 Zoologist scents. I wanted to give you an update, kind of let you know my overall feelings, what I thought, what I ended up going with. If I do buy one in the future of these 4, it would be Seahorse, which I do think is a beautiful aquatic, and I like the idea of wearing it with my seahorse necklace and my seahorse everything that I have. So yeah, that's my overall review of these 4 from Zoologist. I think that if I do try any in the future, it will definitely be with these little small trial sizes, because if this is what they're like, you know, you definitely don't want to buy a full bottle and have it just collect dust. Thanks guys for joining me on this overview, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.